Hello, this is my new YouTube channel where I'll be talking about guitar setups. This is an acoustic guitar that's about 20 years old, solid spruce top, solid mahogany back and sides. Just going to give it a check over to start with, starting with the frets and just making sure that I understand what the issues are and what needs doing on it. First step obviously is to remove these strings and take them all off so that I can work properly on the guitar. So I'll get these off and then we can get started. Okay, the first job is to check the neck. I want to start with a straight neck ideally, and fortunately this one is dead straight already, and so there's no problems there. It can be adjusted later if it needs to be. And then we're going to check the fret, that the frets are level using this tool. We're going to hold it over 3 frets each time just to see if it rocks at all. It's a perfectly straight edge on it, and it's got different sizes as you can see as we move up the fretboard. Again, fortunately these frets are all in great condition. The guitar's been gigged for about 20 years. It was set up a few years ago I think, but it's been used since then, and it's still in really pretty good condition. It's got some dirt and grime on it that you get just from regular use, but it doesn't seem in too bad nick at all. So anyway, the frets are all okay, so I don't need to worry about that. There are a few sprouting ends, so I'm going to just use a small file to deal with those. There's only a couple of them. I don't need to tape up and work on the whole of the neck, just these couple of frets that need sorting out. So I'll use this small little file here, making sure I don't catch the binding, just taking the edges off, and after that I'll round them as well again and just put those into good condition. And once I've done that, the next step is to get those frets nice and clean. So I'm going to use the little shield that you see there, which just protects the fretboard, as I'm using some steel wool to polish the frets and clean them, getting rid of all that dirt and grime. It's a really soothing job to do this. It can take a little while as you work along each fret and just making sure that they're all nice and smooth and shiny. One particular benefit for the guitarist is that the smooth frets mean they don't get that kind of sort of creaking noise if they're bending the strings or manipulating them in any way, and so it's just a much smoother experience. And also it just avoids those noises while they're playing, which can often be picked up, especially by the undersaddle pickup when they're amplified with it. So I'm going to work up the fretboard, down the fretboard I should say, and just make sure each of these is nice and shiny and clean, and all the dirt and marks and just the patina of use is all off there. And then once I've done that, really I think the fretboard is in good enough condition for me to move on to the other jobs. It's going to look nice and clean. The only thing left to do on here now is to treat that fretboard. It's not been done for a long time. It's looking quite dry, so I'm going to put a bit of oil on there, which is a mineral oil which has got lemon scent in it, and it just nourishes the wood. It avoids any cracking or drying out or anything like that. It also makes it much more pleasant to play, much smoother, which obviously is a benefit in itself, but it just also keeps it in really good condition, and it looks much nicer. It restores the colour back to the fretboard. And after I've left the oil there for about 15 minutes, I wipe it off, taking any excess off so there's nothing left on there once it's been restrung and played. Just using a separate cloth, as you can see as well, actually, just to make sure I don't put any back on. And then after that I'm going to replace the battery. Battery's in a slightly awkward position on this, but it's not too bad. And once I've replaced the battery, I'll put that back in. This just means that the customer can take the guitar as it is and start playing. They don't need to be doing anything at all by doing that. And then once the battery's in, and it's a bit of a faff to get that back in there, I'm going to clean the guitar. It's got lots of sort of just, obviously it's going to have oil from the hands on there and bits of dirt and stuff that's been picked up over the years, and it just restores the sort of the rich colour of the wood, makes it it restores it to the best it can. There's a few dinks and things on this guitar which you would expect from something this old, but by giving it a good clean, and this is a specialist guitar cleaner that's great for use on all surfaces, but especially obviously something like this where it's a natural surface that's just been stained with a matte finish on it. And so I'll give that a clean all over and up the neck and get that ready, and the only job left to do really after that now is to restring it. And to restring it, I'm going to use some early ball earthwood 12s, which is the weight the customer wants. These are a good all-round string, especially good for those who are strumming or picking. Just gives a bit of body to the sound and a little bit of volume, which is often what people are looking for, unless you're playing single note melodies, when perhaps you might want a slightly lighter string that's easier to use and to bend. And obviously I work through and put all of these strings on. It takes a little bit of time with an acoustic. Obviously you've got to balance those pegs at the end and make sure that they're not popping out as you're putting them on. And once it's all finally restrung, the only job left to do really is to test it. So to do that, I'm just going to run up and down the fretboard and make sure it all works. And there we are. Thanks for watching.